All right, another episode of Conversate After Dark. Tay, what's up with you?
Everything's good with me. What's going on with you?
It's all good. It's all good. Tell people where they can find us.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at cvadthepodcast at gmail.com.
That's right. Go to our website, www.conversateafterdark.com. You can check out our past episodes. Make sure you tell a friend. All right, Tay, let's do the icebreaker.
Okay. Once trust is broken, do you think you could ever get it?
Do I think I could ever do what?
Get it. Get it back.
Get it back. If I'm the one that broke it or somebody broke my trust.
Answer either way.
Um, Depending on the relationship, with time, I think that I could trust again if somebody violated my trust, like, lied to me or whatever. Um, if I'm invested in a relationship, then, 'cause I was just telling somebody this, uh, some men are suckers for sex and some are sucker for love. I'm a sucker for love, which I feel is more dangerous because you get infatuated with the idea of the relationship and being in a relationship, so you overlook things and you tolerate things that you probably shouldn't. Whereas when you're just looking for sex, it don't matter. I can walk away from it. So I think, depending on the type of relationship, if we're in like a serious relationship where we've been in it for a couple of years, then I probably would give somebody the opportunity to try to regain my trust. But if we're not invested, nah, you can kick rocks. Or how I treat you and how I interact with you is going to be very, very different. Very different, right? Because I'm not going to allow you to hurt me with the dishonesty anymore. Um, I have violated people's trust. I used to be a liar, lie to women, cheat on women and stuff. And it's hard. It's hard, especially when you hurt somebody. And I nothing makes me it makes me feel really, really bad when you hurt somebody that you say you love and you care for. I've hurt women in the past and, with my words and with my deeds, and I just felt like crap afterwards. So I try not to put myself in that situation, especially now, because you know how I live. I'm gonna tell you, it is what it is. This
Mhm.
is what I bring to the table. If you can deal with it, then great. I'm gonna do right by you. But if you can't, then I understand. I probably need to do something else. But yeah, I know that's kind of long-winded, but if we're in a deep relationship, I'll give you opportunity to get that trust back.
Um, Regaining trust for me is extremely hard. I can give a lot of freedom. I'm super understanding, probably to a fault. So with people's flaws or whatever you want to call them, I can forgive a lot. But when my trust is broken, uh, I don't know. It would take a long time, probably some therapy, if I'm honest. Um,
And you're not
and
doing therapy with nobody that don't matter.
right, exactly. Because I mean, if it's somebody that doesn't matter and my trust is broken, I'm gone.
Mhm.
But if it's somebody that I actually care about, it would take a lot. You know how I am about lying. I've talked about it on the show before. So, and because automatically when someone lies to me, my mind automatically goes to what else have we lied about? Even with a small lie. So like say I ask person I'm dating about my outfit and they say it looks good and in their mind it really doesn't. If I find out later, then anytime that opinion comes up, I'm going to be like, are they just trying to make me feel good or is this really how they feel? Like it I will question everything from then on out. So,
I hate
I
that
don't know.
question.
Yeah.
I hate that question. Do you like this? Do I look good in this? Or what have you? Because there's a balance that you have to be delicate.
Yeah.
Because when you're dealing with a woman and her appearance, um, it's just hard because you don't want to hurt their feelings. right? And you have to, and I think that question is really the more comfortable you get with the person, you can say, that don't look right. Because I always tell people, I tell my kids the same, because I'm a big dude or whatever. I'm like, hey, you ever see me looking sloppy or some shit or whatever? Pull me to the side quick and tell me to get it together. Because I would much rather you tell me than people be out here talking about me and all this old shit. That's true love and friendship, right? But, when you're in the first, few stages of a relationship, you don't really want to hurt the person's feelings because y'all don't really know each other like that. When y'all been together for a while, you can be like, man, you look crazy.
But see, this when I go back to human beings are too sensitive because I feel like you, and I've always felt like this. If I have on something, or my hair is a certain way, or if I do something and it's not flattering to me, I would rather know that than for somebody to tell me a little white lie and have me out here looking crazy.
See, I never looked at that as, I mean, technically it is a lie. Technically it is a lie. But I don't classify that as like being dishonest. I look at dishonesty as I'm saying something to manipulate how you interact with me. So like you going like all the way, all
I
the
mean,
way.
I mean,
Because I ain't gonna
it,
lie to say
yeah.
that is a little extreme. Because if I say it's okay, whatever, and then you realize later when I was just trying to spare your feelings, and now you question me on everything else, that's a tad bit extreme.
It may be, but that's where my mind goes because I feel like if people will lie about little things, they'll lie about big things. That's how I think. That's how I feel. That's why I don't like lying at all. Just tell me the truth. It's easier for everybody. Well, it's easier for me and the person I'm with. Just tell me the truth. Then you won't have to go through that.
Have you ever had somebody lie about their history or their background?
Um, not well, that's not true. Yes. I mean, because guys have lied about being in relationships. I feel like that's lied about, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely. But I'm just talking about in terms of like maybe exaggerated themselves, like overinflated
Oh,
story.
um, not that I've ever found out. I don't remember. I can't think of anything. I'm trying to think. I've had people who were boastful about themselves, maybe overly confident when they shouldn't have been, but not anybody that has over exaggerated their past where it called into question their integrity.
I asked that question because, we just read a book for our book club, Our Kind of People, which
Hmm.
deals with the upper crust, the elite of the Black community, right? And the whole premise of the book was how this part of the Black community interacted with each other. And a central theme of that is if you didn't come from that segment of the Black community, it was really, really hard to get into that community, to break that barrier. And so they wanted their children, they wanted, it was all about who you married, who you were in a relationship with. And if you came from a family that didn't align with where those folks came from, it was very hard to get there. So have you ever been with somebody who your family or your friends thought you way better than that? Not just because of their character, but just because like how they presented, where they came from. Because like I know like some women that they're college educated, um, they got it going on, and you couldn't pay them to work to be in a relationship with a city worker. That used to be the big thing back when I lived in Houston. It was like, I'll date the city worker because they got benefits or what have you, right? But like some women was like, nah, this dude, is climbing the utility poles for the city, or this dude's driving the bus, right, for the city. What I look like being with him. So have you ever been in that type of situation where a guy where y'all just maybe weren't, I would say equally yoked. I know that's probably not the right way to apply that term, but that's what my mom taught it
Yes.
to me. If y'all weren't on the same level, have you ever had a guy approach you and did you entertain him and say, let's try to make it work?
Yes, because I'm the type, as long as the guy's a good guy, I don't really care. Is I mean, as long as he can take care of himself, like if we got into a relationship and I always had to be the person to pay for everything or something like that, that might cause me to be like, I don't know about this. But city workers make a lot of money. Contrary to popular belief, there are jobs you can get in the city or jobs like being a plumber, stuff like that. They make good money.
And
Sanitation workers.
not only that, though, I'm sorry to cut you off, but more importantly, they have great benefits and great retirement packages.
Yes, yes. So in terms of their position in life or their background, that type of stuff has never mattered to me. Now, it has mattered to my family though. I remember there I had one ex and I remember this was before, no, I was driving. I think I just may have had an issue with a car at a certain point. And I asked my grandfather to take me to his house. And he was not living in a good part of town. And my grandfather was like, "Do you know where this N-word lives?" Like, and she out there with him, and he ain't no good for her, blah blah blah. And look, we not even one of those families that come from the upper echelon or the elites. But my family was middle class, maybe edging on upper middle class, maybe. My grandparents anyway. So yeah, I got that from him. And then I had another ex just because he lived in Baltimore. My family, my family just assumed.
Look, I'm shocked that you would even date somebody from Baltimore because I know how DC people look at folk from Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? If you mess up and say, "Hey, Baltimore's part of the DMV," they be, "No, it ain't."
Look, one of my closest friends, when she met him, her first thing was, "You must be funny because you are not her type." And that's what it was. Because he was hilarious. To this day, he's the funniest boyfriend I've ever had.